everybody? It's your boy Andrew L. Case. You are now tuned into the initial podcast. Today is November 14th, 2022, and I'm here with my co-host as usual, Kev, Big Kev for today, Jew Jackson, and formerly of SNY, my man, I'm gonna sound like Amara Showers said it. My main man, Chris Williamson. What's going on, Chris?
What's up, baby? How y'all living? Y'all
good, man. How are you?
Y'all enjoying that employed life?
Sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes. Hey, sometimes you just need to pay the bills, right?
Right.
That's what we trying to do
Sometimes
over
gotta
here.
pay the bills. Hey,
yeah, we good though, man.
Just add this to your B-roll for your resume. You know what I mean? It's your
For the B-roll.
For the B.
Like this B-roll for the real.
Make sure you follow Chris Williamson at CWilliamson44. Crazy week 10 in the NFL. That's why we're here. The New York Jets who are on a bye, but that doesn't mean we weren't entertained. A wild one went down in Buffalo between the Minnesota Vikings. In Buffalo between Minnesota Vikings and the Buffalo Bills. We went to overtime with the Vikings coming out victorious. But the way we got there was an interesting one. I'm going to let our guest take the lead on this one, Chris. I know you didn't watch much of the game, but what you caught was pretty much the very important, most crucial part of the game. What were your thoughts about the ending in Buffalo?
Yeah, no. Honestly, that's one of the craziest. I mean, it's definitely the most entertaining game that I've seen all year, and which is kind of not a high bar because there have been so many ugly games. Yeah. But the fact that, there are two plays, right, where Minnesota's driving down the ball into the game, and you think Kirk Cousins, first of all, the fact that they went for a sneak is ridiculous. Why are you putting the ball in Kirk Cousins' hands to win the game for a freaking sneak? The play before Justin Jefferson, 1 yard short, that was just stupid. So you're like, all right, bet it's over, right? All the Bills have to do and just get out of the end zone, maybe a short handoff or, a quick pass, and then they're looking good. And Josh Allen, who everybody's, been so high on, this year after last year, decides to fumble the ball because he can't handle the snap. And the Vikings recover. It would have been better if the Bills had recovered, so it would have been a safety and they would still have been down. But, yeah, so they go to overtime because Vikings want to play prevent defense, let everybody catch balls and stuff. Gabriel Davis, got away with one. That's who caught it, right? Or it was
it was Gabriel.
Because I thought, I don't know how New York missed that up top.
Nobody knows. They stopped the game for everything else.
That's what I'm saying.
And they didn't stop it for that. It was so weird.
I was shocked they didn't review that. So then we get to overtime. And then the Vikings, they march down the field, can't score, Bills hold, and then they get the field goal, and then you have Josh Allen willing his team to almost potential victory, just running the ball like he's a running back. Nobody can stop him. It takes 5 people to bring him down. You think, okay, this is it. He's going to find Stephon Diggs in the corner or maybe a crossing route, and then lo and behold, he throws another pick to Patrick Peterson. I don't know what he was looking at, to be honest. And that's the ball game, right? That's the Spark Notes version, and it was one of the most entertaining games I've ever seen. You had the Stephon Diggs catch, one-handed grab during the game, and then Justin Jefferson's sensational catch, with Bill's defender all over him. Holden got 2 hands on the ball and he still comes down with it. You're like, bro, this is why they're paid millions and why we're at home watching and analyzing, because that's just stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. One thing that stood out, and you mentioned the Peterson incident, it seems like Josh Allen has kind of reverted back to his old ways in the past 2 weeks. But I'm going to be I'm not even going to be generous. Let's say the past 3 weeks, because he threw some bad picks the week before he played the Jets. So he threw two picks that game. He threw 2 picks versus us, and then He throws the picks against Minnesota. Josh Allen has not looked good. I know their stats are going on and saying, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions the past 2 weeks, but they're not including the 2 interceptions he threw before. Josh Allen has kind of regressed back to the Josh Allen we were making fun of when he was drafted by Buffalo when we took Sam Darnold. I'm going to leave that for Kev on his doorstep. What do you think is going on with Josh Allen? All the receiver talent is there. Everybody's healthy. What's up with him?
Josh Allen is, let me make this clear. Most of us who watched football at any point in the last 5 years were wrong about where Josh Allen's career was going to go. So whatever I say is not agenda driven. Like, I've given it up. I've taken my L by Josh Allen a long time ago. Now, with that said, Josh Allen will. I said this on this podcast literally last week. Josh Allen, if you are a defensive back or a linebacker playing against Josh Allen, he's going to throw you the football at some point. That's just how he's wired. Like, Josh Allen thinks he can throw the ball through people, around people. And for the most part, he's right. I'm not sitting here trying to argue with him. And if he's going to put up 40 touchdowns in a given year, like, and the price of business is okay, he might throw 16 picks. Sign me up. I'll take it. Like, I don't. Sign me up. I will take it. So I'm not here to dunk on Josh Allen per se. He's still a great quarterback. Every great quarterback has rough patches. Like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. Everybody has rough patches. Hell, Aaron Rodgers was the best quarterbacks of all time. He had a whole bad season that made them say, you know what, we might want to draft Jordan Love, who has never seen field. Like, all the great ones have bad stretches. But Josh Allen is mistake prone to a degree. Like, he's so good that when he turns the switch on, it doesn't fucking matter what you do. When he's good, Josh Allen, it doesn't matter what you do. He's going to be running over you, around you, through you, throwing darts all over the place. So, like, I don't think that this 3 weeks is you could use it to predict anything. I don't think it's predictive. Like, he is who he is. He's going to have stretches where he's going to throw 6 picks in a month. That's kind of who he is. The price of doing business. Now, the pick that he threw at the end of the game was kind of ridiculous because it's like, bro, it's second down. If that was third down, maybe I could squint hard there. All right, you really don't want to tie these dudes, and you're just going for gold. All right, maybe it's second down, bro. Devin Singletary was wide open. Just throw him the ball, take your little 6 yards, go to 3rd and 4, and go from there. But he was wide open. It's just he hesitated a little bit, and that fucked him. It was like, all right. Now he's trying to throw it, and he thinks he can make that throw because a lot of the times he can, and sometimes that gets you in trouble. Josh Allen is Brett Favre with wheels, and that's not a great comparison. That's a positive and a negative. It's way more positive than it is negative, but the negatives are going to kill you sometimes because you never really see him coming. We saw Josh Allen on that drive look like Jesus in cleats on that drive, and then look like a moron 3 plays later. That's Josh Allen.
Let's use the Jets game, for example. First play of the game after that crazy kickoff, he throws big, 42-yard, big gain. Like 2 plays later, he throws it right to like a safety. Trying to squeeze it off the box, but it's like right to a safety. It's like he's inconsistent like that. And like you said a lot of what I was going to say, Kev. Like, he's a very good quarterback. He's having a bad stretch right now. I think the big thing is more on the coaching staff, so to speak. And I think the offensive coaching staff, I participate in Straw and Fruit, enjoying others' miseries. I'm a hater too, like Kev, but not as a big hater. But I'm a hater. I'm a little bit of a hater when other teams
not
lose.
As big a hater? Are you sure?
I'm sure. So like when the team loses, I'll go to their forums, see them all cry and whatnot. I think the big problem is like, it's always entertaining. I think the big thing is just their offense. It's just very, very unbalanced. It's too many passing, not enough running. Too many passing, too much passing, not enough running. Yes. And that's the big thing. It's like they traded for Nyheim Hines, who might as well just be on the sidelines, just in coaching gear at this point.
Right.
They have Devin Singletary. It's like, it's so weird. Like, you're up, but they still want to pass the ball a lot. And I get, okay, you have Josh Allen, you're one of the best quarterbacks in the league. It's okay, but it's like, for example, what was it? That 4th down pick. A, going for it was a bit dubious, but B, why not just run it?
No, it wasn't.
I don't know if it was like,
let's argue. Fuck all this. No, that was not dubious. No, it wasn't. What was the score?
They were up by 3, right?
It was 27-17 was the score.
Yes,
and they went for 6 instead of 3. That's not dubious. They were trying to bury the Vikings. That's not dubious. They were trying to bury them. Going up 13 does not do as much for you as going up 17 does.
Yeah.
I guess.
Like,
I mean,
we could gripe with the play call to a blue in the face. Fine, do that if you must. But it's clear why they were doing that. Like, they're just like, yo, look, we have a chance to put these dudes in the coffin and close it. That's all that was. And it didn't work out. And Josh Allen threw the ball right to Patrick Pearson. That was great. I enjoyed it personally. As somebody who, aforementioned hater, I loved it. I enjoyed it. But I can't gripe with the call, though. At least
I will say that.
Go ahead.
Definitely. I will say that Justin Jefferson's catch, like, I know we talk about Odell Beckham, but I think that supplants Odell Beckham's catch, to be honest.
Nope.
Argue with him. Argue somebody else.
I had the same thought, right? I was like, this is definitely the greatest catch I've ever seen. But you have to consider the fact that the DB helped Justin Jefferson a lot because he had two hands on the ball. And even though it's ridiculously hard, to keep that ball from hitting the ground when it reaches like an inch or two, if the DB does not touch the ball, I don't know if Jefferson catches it. Odell didn't have anybody holding the ball for him. Like, he just reached back like he had stretchy arms and caught that thing while he was getting draped, while the person was smothering him. So, no, Justin Jefferson's catch was unreal, but Odell's is better, bro.
Yeah, argue with him.
It's hard because, I think Odell's catch was better just in the technical aspects of it, but considering the situation, considering what it was 4th and 8, and the Vikings were like 7-1 or 7-1. The Giants at that time were like what, 3-6, 3-7. They were out of it. Yeah, the Vikings were literally 7-1. It was 4th and 18 at Buffalo. It's like he drove up to Justin Jefferson. He catches it in one hand. The guy is all over him and everything. Somehow, it's like time and situation. I think that's the better catch. But if you want to talk about the aspects of the catch, I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I'm talking.
Purely the skill. I understand the point. For sure.
Yeah, but significance of the moment, of course, it's Jefferson. Like, 4th down, like you said, in Bill's territory,
4th and 18. Not even like 4th and like 5. 4th and 18. Yeah. Like, that shit's crazy.
That the last like 4 minutes of that football game was outrageous.
They were drunk.
And I also want to talk about the fact that after Kirk Cousins sneak, which I don't know what they were thinking, that Dalvin Cook's right there, Justin Jefferson's right there.
That's what I'm saying.
They got like two plays. Like, okay, let's give it to Kirk Cousins. And he didn't even try. He wasn't even like, oh, let's stretch it out. Like, Drew Brees was stretch it out like this. Kirk Cousins was like,
I'm sorry, bro. 4th and goal from the 1. Like, you want to line up in the big formation, fine. Justin Jefferson is outside. And guess what? I will tell the defense myself I'm throwing the fade. Go ahead, stop it. I'll tell the defense myself. You see 18? He getting the fade. Go ahead. Stop it. Like I want Justin Jefferson to decide that football game.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like, and I'm not even the QB sneakers, whatever. Like, I've seen it work so much I can't dunk on them for it. But if I have Justin Jefferson was going crazy. This is not he had 3 catches the whole game and he's been in jail. Like, no, he was going nuts. Like, hey, if Justin Jefferson is going to decide this game, that's what I want. If I lose, it's because I threw it to him. If I win, it's because I threw it to him. Fine. I can live with the result and I can sleep good at night.
That's and the crazy thing is, Kirk Cousins didn't even try on that sneak. He was just like, he just held it, and then at the very last
some
moment,
guys are better at it than some. Kirk that's clearly not Kirk's forte.
That goes to my point, bro. Why are you doing that? He's not a QB sneak extraordinaire, if you will. That's not his game. You don't rely on him for things like that. I'm with you, man. I think, Justin Jefferson, put the game on the line with him, or give it to Dalvin Cook. Like, when he's healthy, he's one of the best backs in the league.
Sure is.
And then,
but
the first play that the
no, I was gonna say
the first play that the Vikings. Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Kate. You want to jump in because you haven't been able to talk a little bit.
Damn.
My man got that dial-up internet.
Nah, I had chill.
Bill's Mafia got him.
No, I was saying
they shooting.
Somebody got me. They shooting. The first play that they dialed up, that they threw to Dalvin Cook, and luckily for that offside, that was a good play they dialed up, but Dalvin Cook dropped the ball.
Yeah.
On the fake to the left, and he pivoted to the right. And I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, it's about to be a holding or something like that. But thankfully, it was the offsides. Okay. But, yeah, I agree with everybody. Like, that quarterback sneak was something I expected, but I didn't like. when you're that close to the goal line, I think it's expected. But I'm not a big fan of the quarterback sneak. You know what I mean? I've seen it work. I think if they broke down to a percentage how often that works is probably in a positive, but not for the Vikings in that situation. But everybody was live tweeting like crazy, especially all the Jets fans. We were all like watching that live tweeting. You know, we want to see the Vikings win. So from my perspective, I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not gonna watch it. But I'm like, they're at the half-inch mark, right? They got to get out of this. So a safety doesn't win the game. Why not hand the ball off? Like we're talking about 2 quarterback sneaks. Like that's what no one's really like. We haven't really discussed that there were 2 quarterback sneaks back to back.
It
was
that's true. And neither one of them worked. That is funny. That is a good point.
Neither one of them worked. And both of them, in essence, would have cost them the game, if not for the fact there was enough time for Josh. Like lost in all of this entire situation was quarterback sneak fail. Quarterback sneak fail. Game over. Upward inflection.
And then the Vikings defense is like, we don't want this to end.
Nah,
we're gonna keep it going, baby. We don't want this to end.
That's the other thing I don't get. Like, why are you running prevent when they need a field goal? Like, that's another thing. And it's like, it wasn't even like it was like, say, 10 seconds or something like that. It was 41 seconds.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's run prevent.
That's the part that I don't understand. Like, why not? Granted, their normal defense wasn't doing a whole lot with the Bills. I mean, well, to be fair, the second half, the Bills, I think, scored like 6 points? 10, whatever it was. So like it wasn't like I just don't why stop what was working. NFL teams do that shit all the time. The Rams Buccaneers, the last drive was the stupidest defense I've ever seen in my entire life. They were just like, all right, if you want the deep middle, okay, you can have it. You want the sidelines, okay, you can have those too. Yeah, so like, what are you guarding then? What are you covering then?
You gotta make sure
that they were playing 15 yards off. Like, bro, why are you doing this?
And it's 41 seconds. It's not even like it's like 10 seconds.
Right. Go ahead, Case. Get in.
Right. But to be fair, and this is just me kind of playing devil's advocate. The last play against the Jets, we saw Josh Allen throw the ball 60 fucking yards downfield. So maybe they were thinking, if we play tight, and Davis or Diggs gets behind us, this game is over.
There's a possibility you lose.
So
that is a fair counterpoint. That's a fair counterpoint.
I didn't say that, just to be fair, because I did not expect Josh Allen to throw the ball that far downfield against the Jets.
In the moment, I was just praying that they didn't throw a flag.
You scared as hell.
So I didn't realize how good the throw was until they showed the replay. I'm like, wow. And like this dude is doing that with his arm was hurting him. And he threw that shit 70 yards, and it should have been caught. Like on top of everything, it should have been caught. Like insane throw.
Yeah. So now that you say that, Vikings. Yeah, now that I say it makes sense, Case. I get where you're coming from. Like that prevent. I mean, I would rather lose I would rather give up the field goal than have Diggs or someone go behind me. So you're absolutely right. I was thinking that makes sense now. Wow.
Also, who does Stephon Diggs used to play for?
The Vikings.
So they know.
And who won on the last second touchdown? They know.
Oh.
They know.
If anybody knows the pitfalls of being a little bit too aggressive in that spot, it's the Vikings. Yes, correct.
It's the Vikings. So I think all of that was the culmination of saying, all right, this is why we're doing this. The only thing that doesn't make sense was the back-to-back quarterback sneaks. That's the only thing.
Yeah, bro.
It don't make sense.
Like, bro,
and like the worst part,
they run the ball out. You know, they run the ball, they hand it off. Some in between the tackles or bounce it out to the outside.
I'm waiting for the team that's ballsy enough to just throw the ball in that situation. I know that sounds insane, but like, bro, it's like 11 people like, all right, we know you're going to run the ball. We're trying to beat your offensive line.
Everybody's prepared for that.
And I know this is not a Madden, but like I'm waiting for the team to say, all right, you know what? Okay, we know we have one-on-one on the outside. Let's throw the ball instead and see where it gets us.
And you know the crazy thing is more teams should really just intentionally take safeties too. Like it's something you don't talk about all that much. Like probably not in that situation because there's so much time left. But like if there were like say 10, 15 seconds,
You
I
take that
don't
safety.
like.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't get
The
why
Giants
it was
did that.
like.
I want to say it was against
Yeah.
the Packers. Yeah, the Giants did it against the Packers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Yes, they did.
I just don't get why it is that they felt that nervous about it. I get it. They had one timeout. Even if you take the safety, they have to go all the way back down the field for shaky kicker. I don't trust any Vikings kickers. I try to put their head into the kicker again. I can't trust
What
any
was
Vikings.
that?
I
What
saw
was
a guy
that
miss
dude's
a
name that played for them a while ago? I think it was Blair Walsh, was it? Who missed
yeah,
that
the one that missed a
25-yard kick?
27 yard.
Yeah,
Yes.
Blair Wall.
I don't trust any of them.
I had a long
Put it
night.
in
And
his
I
hands. I
remember
don't care.
waking up. I remember literally waking up right before this happened. And mind you, that game started at 12. It was a really long night. Like I woke up at like 3 o'clock. I looked up. I was like, oh, look, it's 10-9. I see this guy lining up for the kick. I have no idea the context. I know it was like -12 or whatever the fuck it was in Minnesota. All I know is I saw him miss that kick. I was like, wow, what a shitty way to lose. Yikes.
Yeah. I mean, the Bills are up by 4. You take the safety up by 2. You gotta punt the ball, so it's going to be a short field, or depending on how good your punter is. It's listen, it's a chess match. I think I wouldn't have done a sneak. I would have tried to maybe get a toss play, maybe
Get a
Singletary
toss
to the
play. You know what I'm
outside.
saying?
And
Get the
see if he
fullback
could,
coming
like,
around, you know, beat up on the corner to the outside. But
Like I never really thought about the downside of the play call until we started talking, but the downside of it, because I mean, it's a play that you really can't practice per se. Like you could practice quarterback things, I understand that, but that specific set of circumstances, you're really not practicing for that shit. So it's like you got the entire defensive, like whoever's lined up in front of the center is going to hit him in the face, like directly off the snap. Like you can't practice this. Like you're inside your 1 yard line. Like the downside obviously is what happened. Like you fumble the ball. Granted, we never see it, but the downside is exactly what happened. You fumble the ball, you lose the game. So, but I get it. The guy's 240 pounds. You think he can get you forward. Can't do it without the ball though. Doesn't matter without the ball. So tough.
I honestly thought the safety was going to happen. To be honest, that's the way everything was. I expect a straight up touchdown.
The safety. And then once I saw Josh on the ground, I was like, "Did he lose the fucking football? Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
And then he did. Wow, that was crazy.
It was unbelievable. And he's wild as hell though. For what he did after that first one of his interceptions, 4th and 2, where he chased down Peterson. And this man delivered. It wasn't like he even just gave a shoulder. He deliberately tried to punch his elbow into Peterson to bring him down. I'm thinking, isn't that your bad elbow, bro? Like,
and I don't say this as some sort of negative. Josh Allen, the screws, like they're a little bit loose up there, bro. He's insane, and I say like that's part of what makes him great. He doesn't think there's anything he can't do.
Yes, he's insane. He's also insane because he's probably loaded up on hella pain meds, so that adrenaline was on 15, right? It was on 10.
He already does wild shit like under normal circumstances. So I can only imagine the type of shit that they put in his body to play yesterday and not feel no pain. Like good point. Good point.
I'm shocked he played at all yesterday. To be honest, I thought he had a Tommy John.
They didn't need to do that, bro. I mean, Case Keenum, I don't know what he would have. I don't know if he would have been able to keep it close, but. I'm not.
They never really gave the degree of the injury, did they, Chris? Like they said, it was a UCL injury. It could have been a strain, but they never got into detail. All we knew is that he didn't practice for the majority of the week, and then all of a sudden, it's like Josh Allen's playing today.
Yeah. My question is like, what is the re-injury risk if he plays? Like, I don't know. Like, it seems like one of those things that can't really get better. But I'm just spitballing.
Which I disagree. A lot of times, I think I disagree with that thought from the teams because it's in the interest of the team for this person to play because they give them a better shot at winning. Sure. However, you remember that situation with Robert Williams on the Celtics? He was playing through a knee injury, and so they can't make it worse. And I think he ended up having to get a surgery before the season started on that same knee, which is like, yo, just protect your body, man. It's not that serious. It may seem like that, but it ain't that serious.
I think the Bills were desperate too. Like I think if they were say 7-1 and the other teams in the AFC East were say 5-4 or something like that, they'd probably rest him. But everyone's at 6-3 and the Pats are at 5-4. They probably thought they couldn't afford to lose this game.
It's
Like, I
tough
think-
it's tough that the third place Buffalo Bills want to make desperate moves.
That shit's crazy. Oh, that shit's crazy.
With
Division
that
in
being
football.
said, Kev, that's an excellent transition. On to our next subject: Jets versus Pats in Week 11, and what this means for the division. With the Miami Dolphins, a lot of people got this wrong yesterday.
I was one of
the Jets
them.
were in first place, but the Dolphins are 7-3. Yes, Kev and
Yeah, I
Jude was
thought they
one
were
of them,
6-3.
and amongst
Yeah,
others.
yeah.
And people couldn't wait to tell me that I can't count. Couldn't wait. But go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
But with the Dolphins being on the bye next week and being idle, Jets Pats has very huge implications because if the Jets win, the Jets are in first place. So now, to those who jumped the gun, and also those who Jets Pats is now bigger than it's supposed to be. At first, it was just, hey, Zach Wilson will go back out there and try again. But now Zach Wilson has to go back there, not only try again versus a team where he's thrown multiple interceptions against. He has to win this game to give us a division lead for the first time since 2002.
Probably
forever since the first time. Yeah, since the Jets have been in first place. I mean, winning division is one thing, but first place, like it's been a fucking while since we were in first place. You know what I mean? But Chris, it's a big week coming. Zach Wilson has to play substantially better. The Patriots didn't do much to win that game. I mean, it was 5 field goals. That was the majority of the offense.
Yeah,
most of the offense came from the leg of Nick Pope. What are your thoughts going into Week 11 with the Jets facing the Pats for the division?
What are my thoughts? Well, I think Zach Wilson is going to be in hell once again, unfortunately. I think he's still young and maturing. I mean, he is young, but I think he's still maturing a lot. And I believe what Bill Belichick's got schemed up as bad as they are, considering the standard that they set for so many years. Defense is really good against the Jets, and I have a lot more faith in Bill Belichick than I do in Zach Wilson to hold on to the ball and not make reckless plays, right? Even though he game managed the game last week. He didn't do anything stupid. He didn't scramble running 10 yards, backwards. Like, he stepped up in the pocket when it collapsed, to move around side to side. And he made the necessary throws. Nothing special, but showed that he was a competent QB. However, I need to see it more. I need to see it consistently. So, to answer your question, I think the Jets will lose.
Zach Wilson mob came. Zach
19.
Zach Wilson mob.
I'll say 19 to 17, right? Yeah, I'll say that. That's how I think it's going to go down. And you can have all the success you want to have with, Garrett Wilson, and hopefully they get Elijah Moore involved in offense. Braxton Berrios, Michael Carter and Robinson.
Who's that second guy you mentioned? Who?
What'd you say?
Who's the second guy you mentioned behind Garrett Wilson?
You don't acknowledge Elijah.
No, I acknowledge him. I don't think the Jets do. I don't know who he is. He hasn't been targeted since like September. I don't know who.
It's so wild, man, because they used to feature him so much last year. He was Zach's favorite target, I think, and now, I mean, because of this trade request,
like he doesn't even get targeted no more, bro. It's crazy. He doesn't even get targeted no more. I don't understand it, but
and they were misusing him, I think, before even that trade or before that thing blew up, where like, yeah, you have this man running go routes, and he's like
all 5'9" of him, bro.
5'9". What are we doing? It's not like he's got some insane vertical.
He doesn't.
And these corners are much bigger than they used to be. So that's not smart. They now they're only deciding to put him in the slot. You should have been doing that in the first place. That's where you should have been featuring him. So yeah, I don't think the Jets will. Don't think the Jets will win. Honestly, that's my gut feeling because there's so much hype around this team. How the best defense in the league and all these weapons for Zach, and he played within the system and didn't hold on to the ball or didn't throw the ball wildly. But yeah, I think as soon as Jets fans feel like things are on the rise, they get sucked back down to earth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. See.
I'm sorry to say that. I was literally thinking that in my head. I'm like, are they going to win? No, because I was expecting them to lose against the Bills, of course. I'm thinking, it's going to be – that's what everybody's expecting.
Right.
They're going to get trucked. You know what I'm saying? They'll get destroyed. But they proved us wrong, so they're going to do the opposite. They're going to do the same thing. Again, we think they're going to win. They're going to prove you wrong.
Well, I'll go and say that offensively, like the Jets defense versus the Patriots offense, I think it's going to look much of the same as the first game. Like Case said, they scored 5 field goals. And these weren't like chip shot field goals where they were moving the ball. This is literally Nick Folk kicking like 45, 50-yard field goals, like right down the middle, just like none of them even came close to missing. I'm just like, is this guy on steroids again? Like, what the fuck's going on? So it's like that. I expect that to stay the same. In terms of our offense versus their defense, I think the big thing with that is just the fact that Jack Wilson has in total 16 picks in his career. 7 of them came versus the Patriots. That trend has to change. Like without those picks versus the Patriots, he's a passable enough quarterback. But some of those picks came versus the Patriots. It has to change. I'm not sure where, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Elijah Moore gets used. Maybe there's some creativity there. Maybe we just see something exciting. So who knows? So in terms of predictions, I don't like to predict games either, like Case. So I'm not going to predict the game, but I will say it's a close game. It should be a close game. Maybe it'll go to overtime. And hopefully the Jets can erase some demons.
Predict the winner. Stop being soft.
Oh my God.
You sorry. You soft. You weak. He said you weak out here.
Right. Damn. Stop being weak. Predict the fucking winner, man. It's a podcast. Come on, grow up.
I am going to go. Pats will win 17-16. Nick Folk does the steroids thing again. Takes like a 500-yard field goal.
Sucker.
Somehow, some way.
Sucker. Sucker.
I feel like that word describes Jude pretty well. But
wow.
My thoughts.
Bruh.
Wow. I'm just wow.
No, go ahead, finish before I start.
No, I'm just trying to make a prediction. I didn't want to make this prediction. I was just trying to hope to get to this next segment, but I'm just suckered into making a prediction over here. So this is just what it is. I didn't want to make a prediction. So I say the Pats are going to win by exactly 1 point. Maybe it's an overtime. Maybe it'll be an overtime game.
Oh, you would love overtime, wouldn't you? You would love a
gotta get that tie in. I said 8-1. I predicted the tie.
Wait. How is somebody gonna win by 1 point in overtime? What you want to?
Yeah, we're gonna forget about that
math. How it works?
We're gonna forget about that math. We're gonna forget
that theory, bro.
I was thrown off my game by Kev telling me to predict. I was going to say just a close game, but Kev forced me to predict, and that threw me off my entire game.
Kev to do that, bro.
Wait, you could win. You could win by 1 in overtime. Don't let them correct you, Jude. You can win by 1 in overtime. There's a way to do it.
Oh, there is a way.
How so? I would like to hear it.
No, they're not.
I don't think
you can win by 2. You can win by 2, 3, 6.
Yeah, you can win by 2.
You can't win by 1, bro.
You can win by 1.
Can't win by 1. 9. Oh.
Now, if it was what happened was you were thinking about college rules because clearly you forgot.
No, he just wasn't thinking.
Rules.
No, don't give him a light jacket. He just
I wasn't thinking at all. I wasn't thinking at all, Chris. I was just so busy marveling in Bill Belichick and what he does.
Saved. I guess this is the part of the program where I talk about the football game. I ain't got much to say about this shit. Yeah. I've seen Jets Patriots for a long time. Pretty much all of the installments, let's say 80% of the installments of the games have been ugly, even with Tom Brady on the center. with Zach Jones and Mac Jones having a derp off, I don't think this is going to be any better. I need the Jets to win. I would like the Jets to win, so I guess I would have predicted the Jets to win just because I'm biased. I'm quite tired of Foxborough when they're fucking horns when the Patriots were touched. I'm just sick of them in general. So I'll go with the Jets 20, Patriots 17. You said what now?
That third down horn they like to do.
Fucking irritating. It's almost as bad as going to Fenway Park and hearing fucking Sweet Caroline as the Red Sox beat the Yankees ass, which I've experienced. Not fun. Not fun. Not fun. That song sucks. So good. That song sucks. That song is so bad. Oh my god. I felt like I was in hell when I was listening to
one time I went to Buffalo for that 2015 game and I heard them play Shout over and over, and I legit could not listen to that song when I went out. Because that was just so traumatizing, listening to that song, because it reminded me of that day.
I mean, to be fair, that song is heat, but I wouldn't want to hear 75 times as my team was as Ryan Fitzpatrick was lighting my team's season on fire either. Yeah. So
it was traumatizing. It was very traumatizing. But they did have the field goals too. They did have the field goals, not even just touchdowns. Field goals too.
You deserved every bit of that though. That experience. I'm glad you experienced it live too. You deserve that. After all that ass kissing you did that year for Ryan Fitzpatrick, you deserved every bit of that. I didn't, because fuck that guy. But you deserved that. You deserved it.
Wow. You see this, Chris? You see
how I'm gonna bring back my predictions. And it's only for this game. The Jets are going to win 30-10.
30?
The Jets are going to
30.
30. Are you okay? Do we need to check you into a mental health facility,
I'm
brother?
30?
Maybe.
How are they scoring 30?
But
I need to know what the touchdown. How are you divvying it up?
I'm going to give the Jets what they did to the Packers minus the special team touchdown. I think the Jets are going to continue to dominate defensively because lest we forget, the Jets had 6 tackles, an interception, and a forced fumble against the Patriots. They were dominant. And what they do the next week against Josh Allen,
They had him in jail.
A forced fumble.
They had him in jail. They had him in the sixth circle of hell. But yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to say that the trend continues defensively, but the caveat is Zach Wilson figures out how to play with himself within himself. Finally, I said play with himself. Sorry. Play with himself.
Pause, bro. We grown men out here. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about these things. We grown men.
I'm just doing it for the humor. I'm just doing it for the humor.
Oh, I know.
Pause.
Hey, you the class clown of this group.
Hey, absolutely.
Damn it.
Absolutely. That's my role on this podcast. Nothing is serious for me. Nothing is serious.
God damn it. I was
are we ready?
For
Shut
103 episodes. I was good. I was letting Jude make all the Freudian slips. But
wow,
I think Zach is going to play within himself.
Mm-hmm.
I think the offense continues to figure it out on the ground. And I think we win in dominant fashion. Cannot hide Jones or Zappy, whoever's going to play, however it plays off any further. Like Jude said, that pick six
that's was called back. Jones' career. Yeah, that's what this.
That would have been the end. That would have been it.
Mac Jones should pay that rep because that shit legit would have ended his career as a Patriot.
He should pay John Franklin Myers.
And him too. Yes. Direct deposit both.
Send JFM a nice Rolex, how you would send your offensive lineman.
Right.
Send a Rolex for preserving your career a little bit longer. I think the Jets get a second chance to make a first impression. There's no reason to suggest otherwise. There's no reason to suggest that the Jets defensively can't do the same shit they did 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, I should say, or to suggest that Zach Wilson hasn't learned anything after Jets beating Buffalo. I'm giving Zach a fair shake. And it's the last fair shake. I want this on record. This is the last fair shake I'm giving Zach.
Motherfucker,
Wilson.
this is the first fair shake.
If you come out,
what you mean?
No, I give a fair shake all season. This entire season. I predicted 9-8, Kev. That was with Zach Wilson at quarterback. I didn't say Flacco was leading us to 9-8. I said Zach Wilson was going to lead us to 9-8. So I've been fair all season to Zach. I'm giving him my stamp that he is going to get it right, not make smooth brain plays like Kev would say, and lead us to a victory. This is it, though.
The official Rick Ross stamp of approval.
Oh, to Jude's point.
Maybach music.
Maybach music.
Hey, y'all stupid as hell, bro.
Oh, wow. I'm not saying anything. I'm just.
Hey, you hilarious, bro.
More than
you weren't on
about half or more than half of his interceptions being against the Patriots.
Wow. Damn. The Bill Belichick Mafia came back again. Oh my God. Is Spygate here?
They shooting. Man.
Is Spygate here? It's like, is he invading our mics? Bill, I said you guys will win. I said 19-17. Don't destroy my computer, please. I said you guys will win.
I mean, half the podcast said the Patriots are going, which I mean, it's a fair conclusion to draw. I mean, the Patriots and Jets are pretty evenly matched. Like, I think the Jets have a better roster, and they also have a remedial quarterback.
Yeah,
so it balances it out. And the Patriots have potentially a coaching advantage. So I should say potentially. They have a coaching advantage. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I wanted to say as well, it's like, honestly, if you put any other coach on the Patriots, I'd say the Jets wiped them out easily. The only reason I'm not saying that is because it's Bill Belichick. That's literally the only reason.
Here we go. Oh my God.
That's literally the only reason.
It's not enough to give Bill Belichick credit. You just gotta go out of your way to kiss that man's ass, bro. It's like if any other coach, if it was Kyle Shanahan was coaching the fucking Patriots, they'd have a great shot to win as well. If any other coach in the history of pro sports was coaching that took the Jets by 4 touchdowns, relax. I'm just saying because you gotta do this. Relax. Because that roster is horrible. And yes, I know Bill Belichick made that roster. Relax. They've lost 4 times already. Relax. They feel like a worse team than 5-4. I know because Bill Belichick is coaching. If anybody else was coaching, they may be 0-9, right? That's what you're gonna tell me next. Like you can't just keep the praise at a normal level. Like you gotta go above and beyond. Like Bill Belichick invented football. Relax. I'm just saying. Look, the Jets will not play him after next week, and then I won't have to talk about him anymore. But you will, though. That's the thing. You will. Bill Belichick is going to make one good call in the first quarter against like the Browns or some shit in week 12, and I'm going to have to hear about it in the group chat. Like, whoa, look at Bill Belichick reinventing football again. I'm not going to talk about him anymore. Bullshit. I'm in a group chat with you. I see the shit that you say. I can read. One more time, I'm going to say it again. I can read. I appreciate that, Kev. I bet you do. Commitment. I appreciate your commitment to reading. Ass kissing. Yes, I appreciate it.
Reading is good.
Reading is fundamental, baby.
It is fundamental.
Yes. Well, since Bill Belichick got Case out of here now too, he got him smooth out of here after he said that Zach Wilson will have a good game. He was like, "We're not having that shit."
What makes it funny is he said the Jets were going to score 30 points and it got erased.
He said 30. Yeah, he said like 30-10. Hey, bro. Hey, Bill Belichick put your ass in timeout.
It's like Spygate all over again, man. He did.
Yo, he said the Jets were going to score 30 points. Bill Belichick was like, on who? Excuse me? Got him out of here.
This has been the worst broadcast night for me. I don't know how the audio from this is going to come out. Hopefully, whatever you guys are talking about stay true. But this has been such a horrible audio night. Man. But I'm definitely still going out on the limb to say the Jets play and win in dominant fashion. 30-10 is my final score. Listen, I stopped making predictions, but I'm going to make a prediction for this one because I just feel like the Jets are the better team. They're better team defensively.
You gotta keep it up. You gotta keep it up. Whatever you did to start this nice win streak, keep it up. I'm very superstitious. You gotta keep that up, Case. And now,
it's a new win streak. We already lost. It's a new win streak. We already lost. We lost to the Patriots when I didn't make a prediction. Then we beat Buffalo when I did. But I did say on Friday.
Mm-hmm. You superstitious people really get me. Like, you did the same thing for 6 weeks. They lost one of those games. So why they lose that game then? Since you did the same thing, you have the same routine, and you can't break the routine. You got to wear your lucky draws or whatever the fuck your routine is every week. Like, how does this work when they lose? Then how does that work?
Well, the defense still looked good, at least. That's all I care about.
Drew, that's not answering my question. Why do you hate answering direct questions so much? Why? I asked you a direct question. How does it work when you win 5 and you lose one of them?
Factory reset.
You have a routine for 6 weeks and you lose one of the games.
You watch everything. Reset,
you find a new routine. How does that work?
Yeah, you find a new routine.
Yeah, and then when that routine doesn't work, you find a new routine after that. Like this is endless, mind you. Like it's
all about in the head, bro. It's in the head.
Jude's head is a very scary place. So understood.
Maybe I don't know. I'm just superstitious. Superstitious. It's just
I just love the fact that you volunteered this stuff just so I could argue with you. It's really good of you to do so. Because it makes this podcast more interesting.
I'm sure you know superstitious Yankees fans. I'm sure you see the rally caps or I don't know.
I try to talk to Yankee fans as little as possible, believe it or not. I try to, even though I am a Yankee fan, I try to talk to them as little as possible. So I don't know shit about their superstitions. I don't know shit about them hopping on one leg during the 7th inning stretch. I don't know none of that shit. I keep it away from you.
They're sending you the IKF jerseys. The IKF jerseys are coming to your house.
We will fight. Like, I will slap you. Don't do that. Don't even bring up IKF on this podcast. I will fight you. Don't do this.
Wow.
I'm clearly I'm not going to inflict violence on you. If I haven't slapped him by now, I'm not going to slap him. I'm
wow. Look at Chris. He's just disgusted right now. He's just disgusted at this.
Going on, bro.
He's surprised.
Roasting the heck out of each other. I'm just surprised. Here for amusement.
Me and Jude antagonize each other. He is more complicit in this than he's willing to admit. He likes to act like he's innocent.
Chris,
no, he's not. No,
Chris is like, huh?
Yeah. No, on the show, I'm the heavy puncher. So like, okay, fine. I will take that. In person, Jude antagonizes me in more passive ways. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. He'll walk up to me and be like, mind you, this is 3:00. Like, set the scene. We get to the bar at 1. I'm 6 beers in at 3:30. I'm enjoying my. He walks up to me. How you doing, Kev? Bro, I've been here for 2.5 hours. Why are you talking to me? Why are you asking me this question right now? Why? You are not trying to date me. You are not taking me on a date. You do not need to small talk me, bro. We are comfortable around each other. Don't do that. And he does this like every other week. And every time I have this conversation, I'm like, true. I am 6 beers and 4 shots in. Why are you asking me this now? Why?
Because he knows he's gonna get an authentic and very honest response from you.
He's gonna get a fine cussing. Is what he's gonna get.
That's
what he's gonna get.
Hold up. You got too much anger in the head, bro. You got too much anger in the heart. You talk about. He just asked you how you doing.
I'm a very peaceful person. Jude brings it out of me, baby. I am a very peaceful person.
You know what's not beautiful? Case once again leaving us again for the 100th time in a row. As soon as something like this time, it's because of conflict.
We can't even blame it on nobody because I was just trying to. I was threatening inflicting violence on you, and that doesn't hurt anybody but you. And yet,
he likes peace. He's all about peace. But speaking about peace, let's talk about the Cowboys.
Who's about peace?
Case. So speaking about peace,
let's talk about. You talking about the position?
We're talking about the same case that was on here 5 seconds ago. But speaking about peace,
we must know 2 different cases. But go ahead, I'm gonna let you segue.
Sorry. Speaking about peace, let's talk about how Aaron Rodgers handed. I can't even use peace correctly with this, but Aaron Rodgers handed Mike McCarthy's ass.
I'm here for. Yeah.
So This reminds me a lot of 2020, the 2017 Chiefs playoff game versus the Titans. In which I was kind of talking shit early. I was talking a lot of cat shit earlier to Kev, and then literally as soon as I did that, everything unraveled. This time, I just put a bunch of thinking face emojis, just like a bunch of thinking face emojis, nothing more to it. As soon as I did that, literally the Cowboys start collapsing. And I'm just like, wow. Mike McCarthy really had a chance to end Aaron Rodgers' season, career in Green Bay, all that stuff. And he choked again for the 100th time. Again.
You love to see
a big game. And he choked. I don't get it.
That's why Aaron was so happy after the game. He was like, I love you, man. I love you so much. He was like, yeah, that's why we got rid of you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we took that W. It was wild because he went for that 4th down in overtime. I know it was 4th and 4. I think they were in field goal range.
Yeah, it would have been
maybe a little outside, but I was like, Mike McCarthy's going to play aggressive. He's going to be on the attack.
Yes.
No way.
Correct.
No way. Like, yeah, but no, the most entertaining part was before overtime when it's 3rd and 1. Aaron Jones just went off for 8 yards.
Yes.
Right, or 7 yards on 2nd and 8. And after a timeout, they decide to call a pass. Like, what? You know what's interesting though? How Aaron did not make an adjustment, and maybe they didn't have the right personnel or the right scheme to make that audible. Because I would expect him to be like, "Nah, we're not doing that. Coach is on some other stuff. So here's what we're gonna do. Aaron, you run the ball.
I don't know. I don't know what the freedom is he has on that particular play as far as like what he's seeing and what the personnel was. But yeah, I'm shocked that they threw the ball. Shocked.
It's like it's the same thing that went back, Seahawks when they lost the Super Bowl. You saw Marshawn was killing it. Why would you go away from that? They couldn't stop it.
I'll never forget being in somebody's house watching that shit, obviously rooting very hard against the Patriots, and seeing Russell Wilson line up in the shotgun. And my immediate reaction was this.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me they're going to do this.
The nerve started.
They dropped back. I'm like, and I saw the slant there. I'm like, this doesn't feel like a good. And then all of a sudden, interception. Oh God, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this to me right now?
They're outthinking themselves. Like coaches outthink themselves all the time in this league, and that's probably what Mike McCarthy did too. It's like, to be fair, I will be fair to Kev because I know he's very pro go for it there. I would rather. I mean, Brett Maher is a very inconsistent kicker. He could kick it like a 69-yard field goal and then miss like a 25-yard or so. I get the logic, but I don't know.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, no, I get that. It wasn't like a horrible call. I can see some of the logic, but I found it funny because of when I covered the Packers in 2015 and 2017. He was on the more conservative side.
I 100% remember. And I've argued with this guy who loves Mike McCarthy or used to love Mike McCarthy, wherever he stands on that. I've argued with him to death about that because I watched Mike McCarthy once kick 2 field goals on 4th and 1 from the goal line in an NFC title game twice. Like with Aaron Rodgers on the center, he did this twice. Like I've seen it. Like that's what he used to be. Bro. That's what he used to be. I don't get it, but as far as the game, first of all, full disclaimer: when Drew did that, and the Chiefs played the Titans that year and they lost, I showed up to the bar the next day in a Marcus Mariota Oregon jersey. That's one of my favorite memories in that bar. I really appreciated the Titans doing that for me that very night, and I just happened to have a Marcus Mariota jersey in my closet. It was great.
You're a big Mariota fan, clearly.
No, not the NFL version. The college version was dope. The NFL version, you can keep it.
I'm saying, college version.
Yeah, I love Marcus Mariota in college. But as far as the game itself, like, I'll start with the 4th down call since that's the last thing Chris talked about. I thought it was fine. I thought the overreaction of it was kind of wild. I saw people killing McCarthy. I'm like, God damn, I gotta be the guy saying, hey, Mike McCarthy wasn't too bad on that play. Me? Like, come on. Like, if it wasn't a 53-yard attempt, like, okay, fine, we're having a different conversation. If it was like a 38-yard attempt, okay, fine. Kick the damn field goal. Trust your defense to get the Packers up out of here with the game. But it's just like, all right, if you have any hesitation on your kicker making a 52-yard field goal, you probably should go for it. And Dak, as much as he hasn't been that good this year yet, I don't know if he will get there. He probably will, but so far he's been as he's still your guy. He's your franchise guy. You still got CeeDee Lamb on the outside. You still got Dalton Schultz who's good. You still got Pollard in the backfield. You got enough where you don't have to go for 4th and 4 and be like, oh, do I really trust my players? Yeah, you should. You have a lot of very good players on offense, right?
Yes.
So I'm not going to kill him for that. Now, where I will take umbrage with Mike McCarthy, why the fuck did Dallas throw the ball so much yesterday? What? For what? Why? They threw the ball 48 times, bro. Why? They had 35 rushing attempts. The Packers stopped nobody on the ground. Like every game, every week, they stopped nobody. They didn't stop them yesterday. I have no idea. And the Cowboys spent the entire second half of that game in the lead, and they still threw the ball over and over. I'm just like, what? Like, do they not see how the game is going?
Tony Pollard was cooked. Like even on that drive, I think in overtime, like they could not stop the run at all. And then I think
their
started.
Backup was baking them too. Like,
I
don't know why they did that. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And the thing is, like, we can't even say like, the nerds, and I'm one of them to a degree. Like not as extreme as like the PFF people, but they will tell you, passing is more efficient than factual. Not sitting here to argue. Bro, yesterday they averaged 5.8 yards in the attempt, bro. They averaged 5.3 on the ground. Like you're barely getting more through the air. Barely at that. And you're up by 14. You're like, oh, you know what? We gotta have Dak air it out. Why? For what? Why? That's the part I didn't get. But
you don't need to do that.
I was here for the result. So Jude couldn't come on this podcast and do, well, Mike McCarthy got Aaron Rodgers up out of here, and this is Carter, and Rodgers is a demon, and blah, blah, blah.
I was ready. I felt ready, and then that just happened. Like, I had everything ready because that would have ended the Packers season. It would have been done.
It would have.
Mike McCarthy could have ended the Packers season. And
the Cowboys went up 28-14. I was sitting there, I'm like, I just need the Cowboys to just cowboy right now. That's all I need. I'm just asking. I don't care what the deal is. I like the Cowboys, but I need them to just cowboy.
And everybody celebrating like they did with the I think it was in 2016 when Aaron threw that pass to good old Jared Cook, looking like Smooth Criminal, and they were celebrating when they went up. Yeah, that's the same thing they did today. I think, or last night. I think it's just one of those things, man, where Aaron Rodgers has their number. Like that's what it comes down. You have 14 points. Aaron and the Packers are playing some of the worst ball they've ever played. He's not taking accountability for himself. And somehow you find a way to lose yet again.
Yeah, that's
Christian
crazy.
Scores 3 touchdowns. The Cowboys find ways to lose to the Packers. You have the infamous non-catch, whatever you want to call it, in 14. You have the Jared Cook throw, which outrageous throw. Yeah. And then you have this.
I will say, the one thing I will say, now I have a question for media people and PFF guys. Does the Jets win against Green Bay become better now? Does it count again? Because for many weeks it didn't count because, the Packers are trash, the Packers suck, this. Does it count now again? Does that win count now? Because we keep qualifying wins. This is like the year everyone's qualifying wins. Can we count
I'm not
that
gonna
win?
I'm not gonna lie though. Like, but you do this every week, so I'm gonna let you cook on that. But generally speaking, like this hand wringing over who beats who, bro. There's like 5 good NFL teams, bro. They can't pick the schedule. There's like 5 good NFL teams. Like, sorry, we beat some backups. Oh, you guys beat the Steelers backup, bro. Both they starter and they backup suck. Like, bro, I saw that. I was like, I knew right then I didn't want to engage no more as far as Jets schedule talk and who they beat. I'm just like, bro, just win the game.
Right.
I don't give a fuck about having these conversations. Because if you want to, you guys beat the Broncos back up, bro. Russell Wilson is playing like Zach Wilson. Well, what's your point? What is your point? You think they couldn't have beat him too? Like everybody else has. They're 3-6?
Yeah,
like,
3-6.
The conversation about the schedule, like, bro, there's like 6 good NFL teams. Like the Vikings are 8-1, and nobody's actually willing to call them great.
Yeah, nobody believes in them because you know why? Because Kirk Cousins is running the show, and people crap on him time after time.
Right.
Like, and some of it's deserved, some of it's unwarranted.
Yeah.
But they don't trust him. The reason why it's fake is because they're like, okay, this is great. You're 7-1, whatever. What are you gonna do in the playoffs? Because that's what they're all focused on because they want to see him fail. Yeah, it's also a weird year. They're no like Kansas City looks pretty good, but they've had their moments like last week against the Titans. That was a grinded out game. Definitely not flashy. The Eagles, they don't always have the sexiest, performances. They struggle with the Texans a couple weeks ago on Thursday Night Football. Eventually they pulled away. There's no like surefire dominant team, even though they haven't lost. And I don't expect them to lose to the Commanders as we're taping this episode on Monday night. But
that'd be pretty.
It's not like those are Super Bowl contenders. They're going to be the team to beat. It's really up in the air. Same thing with MVP.
I just feel like a lot of these records right now, like there's a lot of like impressive, like the Giants 7-2. I believe they're 7-2 right now, and like with the Kirk Cousins thing, it's like they're 7-2, but it doesn't feel like they're like 7. I don't know.
The
it doesn't feel like they're
7.
7. Mafia got 7-1. No, they have 2 losses. The
Vikings have 1 loss.
No. I was talking about the Giants.
Sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, I was talking about the Giants. They're being 7-2 right now, but it's like I don't know. It doesn't really feel like it. Like even the Dolphins. I mean, the Dolphins. To me, the Dolphins look legitimately good at 7-3. The Jets are good at 6-3. But it's like a lot of like decent at 6-3. I should say it's biased a little bit, but it's like a lot of these teams with very impressive records. I'm not exactly moved by them. Like there's nothing.
Because you watch the games and you see like the Vikings just all right. They're 8-1, great. I've watched them play. They don't move me in that way. Like they've had some, and the thing is like their whole steez right now. Their whole business model is, hey, we're gonna beat you in late and close games. Bro, that's not sustainable. Like we could say that it is, and sometimes you have a season where like everything goes your way, fumble luck, you name it, you get the ball last, that type of Justin Jefferson pulling one-handed catch out of his ass, like that type of shit. Like okay, sometimes you have a season where that goes in your favor. Eventually, you're gonna have the game where Kirk Cousins drops back. You're down by 3 late, whatever. Somebody sacks him, fumble, game over. Like eventually, like you're gonna have that kind of game, which is what makes the Jets situation so frustrating because the Zach thing, and like I know he's developing, and it's harder to be patient with your quarterback development when your team is actually good. Because if the Jets were 3-6, I promise you nobody would care. It'd just be all right, bro. Go out there, throw them interceptions, get them out your system. Hopefully you learn from them. Hopefully you grow. But like in an NFL this wide open, the sky is the limit. I'm not going to sit here and tell you the Jets can make a Super Bowl appearance. All I'm saying is if for some reasons like the light bulb goes on for Zach, can you sit here and tell me that they can't? I cannot. I'm not going to say that they can't. Would I bet on them? No. I wouldn't bet on them, but it's possible, which makes it frustrating. Like, Zach, just get the fuck out the way. Like, we're not asking you to do a lot. You don't got to throw the ball 45 times. We ain't asking you to be Superman. Just stay in the pocket, make the throws to the open dudes. And to be fair to him, he's actually good from clean pockets, which makes it even weirder that he likes to lead them for no reason. I really don't understand. Like his numbers are very good from clean pockets. Just stand there. You have a really good arm. You got good receivers. Just stand there and throw the ball. But it's a wide open NFL. It's like this schedule shit is just somebody in our group chat, Jude, can attest to this, was like, the Dolphins beat this murderer's row of this team, that team, and y'all are clowning. Who do you want them to beat? This is
it's not like college where you can pick the teams. It's not like college basketball where you're picking the teams, bro.
NFL, there's like 5 good teams, like maybe 6 on a good week, bro. Like, what do you want them to do?
And the real teams will separate themselves. This is a great point. Real teams will separate themselves, in the playoffs.
For sure. And even then, it's like you gonna have like the Giants are about to moonwalk in the playoffs with 12 wins. Does anybody believe in the Giants? They're a great story. I'm not here to show the Giants. They might get my account up out of here soon. Like you might see the disappear, but they're cool. Like I don't look at the Giants like, wow, you know what? They're gonna cause problems for team. Like they're cool. Like they get to the playoff, they might win a game. Like they could give somebody a little bit of problems in the second round or whatever, but they're not that good. Like I don't look at the Vikings as they're dominant. Like the Chiefs are the Chiefs, but even them, it's like, all right, yeah, it looks good now. And to be fair, Kadarius Toney, if his hamstrings stay healthy, he keeps looking like that. We're talking about an entirely different animal with the Chiefs. But like them receivers are kind of boo boo. Like, all right, Kelsey is great, obviously. They're kind of boo boo. Like, MVS is boo boo. Like, Juju is cool, nice slot receiver. All right, it's like Mahomes is an alien. Okay, I'm not taking nothing away
from
from
about Hardman.
Boo boo.
Hey, they be catching, bro. They can't be boo boo, man.
Because Mahomes be like, yo, here you go, 30 yards away, right in the hands. Like, it's impossible for them to but jokes aside, like, at least with Hardman, I can say with the ball in his hands, he's a problem. Now his routes are no good. But if you on jet sweeps, he's an issue because you never really expect him to get the ball, and then the next thing you know, like he's 8 yards away because he's that fucking fast. But none of these teams are that great, man. They're not. Like, none of them are.
That's what makes it so exciting. That's what makes it so exciting. It's just the year of mid, and the year of mid is great because
lots of mid.
You know why? It's the we talked about this earlier, but the defense is coming back, and I ain't for one am happy. All this defense is coming back.
Yes, sure.
I loved you talking about, like, back in my day when you started watching football 12 years ago. It's so funny to me. Like, I'm not even shitting on you before. It's just funny to me because you quite literally started watching football a decade ago. That's so funny to me.
12 years.
Like, unlike me, I was watching football when Tom Brady was 20 years old and haunting my life for the next 2 fucking decades. But
20 years old.
Every time the Tom Brady hit comes from, have you seen it, Jude? The Buffalo Bills DB, Lawyer Malloy.
Yes.
Every time I see it, I'm like, yo, how do they allow football? Like, I'm just so taken aback. Like, yo, how do they allow the sport to be played, bro? Like, he tried to kill him. And I'm as anti-Tom Brady as you will ever find. I'm like, oh my God, they allowed this? For real?
Yeah, that's a different era.
Bro, and I watch it over and over. I'm just like, wow, this is insane. But go ahead, Drew.
But speaking of Tom Brady, that game against Seattle where he tried to trip, I don't know, like, they kept making that so endearing. Like, oh, look at him trying to trip this guy. It's like, dude, he tried to literally trip him. How's this endearing? It's like, oh, look at him trying to run and make a pass and all this stuff. And it's like,
I thought you were bad when it came to Belichick, but announcers are even worse than because of Tom Brady. Like, they try to make tripping into something cute. Like, come on.
Yes, they're literally like, oh, look at him tripping over here. He's so cute.
Wait, so this is another play. Wait, this is another play aside from the pick that Tariq Woolen had when he slipped, right?
Yeah. No, it was that play when he tripped. He tripped the receiver. Yeah. Tripped the corner. Excuse me. Yeah. Same play. Yeah,
it was a deliberate trip.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, look at Tom. Look at Tom out there having fun, having a blast. Shut up.
Oh my God. Like,
that play was hilarious, by the way. Oh,
yeah.
Byron Leftwich needs to be put he needs to be checked for that one. He was wilding.
Bro.
You got a 50-year-old QB, you put him at the top of the lineup, you know what I'm saying? And
that's one of them. The bookies are outside play calls, man. That's real. Like, the bookies are outside and they on the phone like, yo, Byron, hey, if you don't do something soon, like, yo, your legs might be gone. Like, it's one of them kind of play calls, bro. One of them. Like, bro, they had not only did they throw the ball to Tom Brady. Let's go through the entire process of the play. They lined up Leonard Fournette under center on purpose, right? Okay. They had this man roll right on purpose. Have him throw the ball to the far hash on purpose. To Tom Brady on purpose. Tom Brady is not uncovered. They threw it to him anyway. Like, they threw to Tom Brady in a contested catch situation. What part of that makes sense? I don't even care the context. And it's not even like you can say, okay, you know what? At least if Tom Brady this is at the 5-yard line. If Tom Brady somehow catches it over this dude, it's a touchdown. Bruh, on top of everything else, you are opening it up for your quarterback to get hit. For what? Make it make sense.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
Damn. Okay.
And yeah, it's a disgrace. It's embarrassing. It's just ludicrous for him to try that. Like, why are you scheming up that play call? Like you said, this man is 50 years old, 45 years old. On a serious note, and you want to put him in position to potentially get rocked. Like, come on, bro. You gotta use your head. You're dealing with so much. It's already got.
I think the crazy part, man. I think the crazy part is just the far hash throw. Like, I can understand that play call more if it's like, okay, Leonard, go out to your right. Tom Brady's out to your right somehow. You're throwing it to him. Okay, fine, whatever. But it's like you're asking him to make a cross-body throw.
Yeah.
Like a 3 mile an hour. It's like a 3 mile an hour throw that anyone could like fair catch. And you thought that was a good idea.
They lucky that's not 2005. Somebody decking Tom Brady, bro. If that's 2022, they're not taking the flag because no matter where you hit Tom Brady, they were going to throw a flag.
Yeah, remember that one time he got rocked? It was in the early days. I think it was against the Bills. And he took off. And he was running, and somebody.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, Lawyer Malloy cleaned his ass
Lawyer Malloy
out, bro. Oh my!
Like he should have been dead.
Legal, man.
I thought he was dead, and he got up like nothing happened. Helmet off and everything.
One of the most embarrassing plays I've ever seen as a Jet fan was in 2016. The Jets played the Patriots, and the Patriots ran a reverse. And Tom Brady somehow, by the grace of God, ended up in the open field as a blocker, and nobody touched him. I was in a bar. I closed my tab, bro. I was like, I want to leave. I don't want to watch this no more, bro. You can have it. I don't want to watch it.
They scared.
They didn't touch him. It's not even like they said, all right, let me give him a light little tap. Just feel some grass, Tom. I'm not even asking for them to lay him out. I'm not asking for them to violate. Just hit him a little bit. It's football. He's a blocker. Hit him. You're trying to make a tackle, right? Allegedly. So the guy is in front of the guy you're trying to tackle. Hit him. It's a free shot. And nobody touched him. It was incredible. And they got like 27 yards on the play on top of it to add to the embarrassment. Embarrassing.
Yeah, that's a low-key embarrassing. Like, not many people will remember that, but that is, you're right. I remember you were talking about it, too. That is one of those low-key embarrassing things.
Yeah, I'm going to take
another high-key embarrassing thing is the Raiders are terrible. And the Raiders are terrible. And Jeff Saturday, there's so much to talk about with that, but Jeff Saturday manifested a win in a way. Like, that's the power of manifestation right there. He skips the line. Jeff Saturday was literally like, Raiders are terrible. I'm going to, like someone said on Twitter, it's like you're watching someone like, I can do that. He went out there, did that, and now the Raiders are terrible. I didn't watch the game, but the big thing I noticed was Matt Ryan's corpse, not even body, his corpse running for like 40 yards. That said everything I needed to know about that game. Everything.
Dude.
Everything.
He decided to cut it back inside at his big ass age. He decided to not run towards the sideline and get out of bounds. He said, "Oh, there's more grass for me to experience or run through. Okay, let me cut it back inside." That's one of the most surprising things I've ever seen for somebody who cannot run at all. He was looking like He was looking like Josh Allen out there. I said, for real? He running like that?
Bro. I saw it on the game tracker. Matt Ryan 40-yard run. I swear to God, I thought that shit was a glitch. I was like, "There's no way." They meant 4, right? Like, there's no way they meant 40. There's zero chance. Ain't no way Matt Ryan ran for 40 yards. And if he did run for 40 yards, I want to see it. I would like to see it. I need to see the context of this. How they could allow him to run for 40% of a football field. I quite literally need to see the context. I need to understand. And it looked like it should have. Like, he ran the sideline, and then he realized, okay, nobody's near me. I might as well take some more yards. And then he did. And it was just 40 yards worth. Like, insane.
And, like, people were jogging after him, too. Like, I just don't get it. Like, these are very athletic athletes. And they did not want to touch him? Were they afraid of laying him out? He's not Tom Brady. I don't get it.
I don't know. And they didn't even have to lay him out. Just tackle him. Like, you put one finger on him, he's hitting the ground. Like, he's not putting him right. Like, man, he's not trying to break no tackles, bro.
He ain't built like that.
He's not trying to break no tackles. You put one finger on him.
And now we're
Oh, is something happening with Case now? That wasn't me.
I have no idea it wasn't me.
Is Case okay? Like, now I'm worried about his safety now. Because
listen, man. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I apologize. I shifted everything to one room with the internet and everything, and I don't know what's going on, man. They don't want me to speak to the people tonight. It's just I don't know, maybe karma for hold me back. These niggas can't hold me back. These niggas can't hold me back. Another Rick Ross reference. But you guys did a great job discussing everything. The whole Jeff Saturday skip the line situation was just simply Jeff Saturday getting a job he doesn't deserve to get. And then the Colts turn around and get a win because Matt Ryan comes back and decides to dial the clock back and get a couple of key runs or something like that. It doesn't change the fact that the process of Jeff Saturday getting the job is just awful. That doesn't change anything, you know.
Nah, it
and
doesn't.
Todd, I don't see color bowls. It's still middle finger to you for your stupid commentary.
Whoa.
You know
Turn
what
it
I mean?
up.
We doing Bunny Coben like that?
Listen, man.
Turn it up.
Oh, shit.
Bunny Coleman.
Yeah, bro. You know that's what he
That's
look like.
so accurate.
He said funny.
He do.
Jesus Christ.
It's so accurate.
Now he told me.
Listen.
I did an interview with him. He said, yeah, he got mistaken for him at an airport one time, and they wanted an autograph, and he signed it as a Bunny.
Jesus.
Oh my God! But nah, when he said that, I was like, bro, you know damn well you don't need to say that. I understand
At
you don't
all.
want to cross the line, and you know you want to stay professional, whatever. Say the right things, but you don't have to go that far. If you guys in the media stop talking about it, then it wouldn't be a big deal. I don't know. I
No
did find
comment is
What's
two
that?
magical words. No comment are two great words in that situation.
To be fair, he can't say no comment either. In his particular position,
He,
he can't
listen,
say no comment. He can't.
that would be
he
weird.
may
That
not
would
be
be
able to
weird
say
as
no
hell.
comment.
Exactly.
That's
Like,
true.
he
No
can't say
comment.
Okay,
Like
never
what?
mind.
Bro.
He may not be able to say no comment, but the whole it's not about color. I don't see color.
Oh
thing.
yeah, no, he
Like,
ain't
I
saying
wish-
that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wish black people in these positions would stop saying that. You know what I mean? Lil Wayne said it, you know what I mean, before. There's a bunch of people who've artists and stuff like I don't see color. I wish that's such a slap in the face to the people who survived the civil rights movement, who survived the Black Panther movement,
Amen, Case.
stuff like that. I don't see color, Jim Crow and stuff like that. I wish people would stop saying that. And I wish they would just man up and say, I am choosing not to talk about the things that affect millions of black people in America. Don't be a coward about it. Just be straightforward. I do not want to talk. My wealth, my money has insulated me. My children have been insulated. And I don't want to fuck up a good thing by speaking about race issues.
I want to mess up the bag. That's simple.
Mhm.
And
Right.
he's
That's
done that.
simple.
Yeah, you don't have to you don't have to say, oh, I don't see color, and you can still, get away with not speaking up or not recognizing the importance of diversity and black coaches being hired. But I did think it was really cool, not cool. I did think it was weird how we saw so much disgust from former players and head coaches. Like this was the worst thing in the world that happened in NFL's history. Bill Cowher is over there probably foaming at the mouth, spitting up. Just like throwing shade at Jeff Saturday. Like he didn't want a job. He didn't want a head coaching job because he wanted to stay, with his family, work on other things, blah, blah, blah. And you could just hear the vitriol that he had in his voice. And then Joe Thomas talking about it's the most disgraceful thing that's ever happened that I've ever seen in NFL history or whatever. Bro, do we need to revisit what happened with Deshaun Watson? I mean,
Right. That's the first thing I thought of. Like, and it just happened. Not like we can say it happened 20 years ago, bro. It quite literally does happen. He's still serving his suspension and all that.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit overkill. And then I also thought it was interesting how he said, you don't have a life when you're an NFL head coach. In a lot of ways, yes, that's true. But I remember Tony Dungy telling people how his staff, you have lives outside of football. Like, I don't want you to spend all your time in the office looking at film, tendencies, all that. So there's nuance that wasn't being that he didn't elaborate on or he didn't want to share because he had an agenda or whatever. But yeah, it sucks, because you never see that for black players who are on TV who have not had any type of college or pro experience coaching. If it was reversed, or like if we saw that, then it wouldn't be that big a deal. But because this keeps happening with white players or white former players, you're like, bro, come on, man. In a day, Irsay can do whatever the hell he wants, but it doesn't make it good. It makes the NFL look worse. Brian Flores' case, even though it is an interim head coaching gig, But the thing with him is Irsay's probably going to give him a lot more latitude to fail than a guy like Steve Wilkes, because Steve Wilkes has in terms of getting like the head coaching job. Steve Wilkes is not getting that job in Carolina. He had to do. They said he needed to be incredible. Well, have you seen that roster? Did you see Thursday Night Football the other day? Even though they won, yeah, not pretty. So
it's not happening. Like incredible with that roster is not happening.
Yeah, but Jeff Saturday, they're still in the playoff hunt, right? So, and he loves him as the guy you can get a beer with, good old boys club. So. Yeah.
I will say that, just to put a little bit of humor in this, I will say if for some reason, some crazy reason, some owner lost his mind to say, hey, Antonio Brown, congrats, you're now a head coach, I'm pretty sure they would say racial slurs on the air. I'm almost certain racial slurs. They will just straight up say racial slurs on air. If someone ever just made Antonio Brown, yes, they will say racial slurs on air if they made Antonio Brown that coach. That's serious. Like, hey,
Jude, I got a better one for you, Jude. In the news recently, there's rumors of Jay-Z trying to buy an NFL franchise. The equivalent of Jeff Saturday being coach of the Colts is Jay-Z getting a team and then giving Memphis Bleak a head coach job. That's the equivalent. That's the equivalent.
It really is. Because Saturday only got that job because Irsay's his homie. Like that's the only
right.
And he was a consultant for them before this.
Oh, he was? Okay.
So if Jay bought a team and then Bleak was a coach and he said, "Yo, it's The Rock," nobody can say nothing. We know what it's about. We know what it's about, right? It's not. It's people are saying nepotism, which it's I guess if how loosely when you use a definition for it, but the problem that I have with the Jeff Saturday thing is it's literally a mockery. When McCown wanted to be the coach of the Houston Texans, what happened? He was in line, right? They said, whoa.
Yes.
So they made the affirmative action minority hire with Lovie Smith. And Lovie Smith, who was a qualified head coach, had to sit down in interviews and ask questions about the nature of his hire to defend his tenure. A guy who arguably, and me and Kev and other people going back and forth, does a guy like Lovie Smith deserve a head coaching job? Probably not.
No, he does. No, went to Super Bowl, Rex Grossman. Don't you dare. Don't you dare, bro. I mean, I know that was a long time ago, but still,
long time ago.
You talking about all these other white coaches that have?
But what I'm saying, Chris, as far as like the dinosaur mentality, does he deserve? No, I'm not saying he deserves a coaching job as far as like his mentality. Maybe we don't know what his mentality is now, and we've seen clearly when he played the Colts when he said, "Oh, the tie was the safest thing." Like I don't know what his mentality is when it comes to that.
Love you, the defensive coach, bro, through and through. Like he's gonna be what he is.
But the fact that people we had, like you said, Chris, he was a Super Bowl Rex Grossman. We have to question this man's pedigree. We have to sit through interviews. Do you know how disgusting that is as an overqualified black man to go on interviews to ask questions as if you're entry level? And Jeff Saturday gets a job on the humble? That's the problem with the league. And people refuse to acknowledge that part, that we witnessed this almost happen with McCown until somebody said, yo, you guys are bugging. You fired a black coach to try to hire an inexperienced white coach, only to backtrack to hire an experienced black coach to be the bridge possibly to whichever white coach you're going to hire, who's now has to sit there and lower himself and say, well, I am qualified, guys. Like I was a coach for several years. You know what I mean? Like I've been to the playoffs. That's fucking crazy. Yeah. And that's all it boils down to, bro. It just boils down to the fact that a guy like Jeff Saturday, he sits there, he has to say, oh, I'm a player's coach. I have all the speeches and I've won rings and stuff like that. And I want to stand up and say, you want a fucking cookie, bro? You coach in high school.
Hey,
are you an offensive coordinator? Yo, Chris, is he an offensive coordinator? Is he a defensive coordinator? Is he special teams, offensive line coach? It's like DBs, linebackers.
No, he on the O
Come
line,
on,
bro.
son.
He offensive line. That's what his specialty. You ain't seeing nothing else but the other linemen beside you. However, I do understand I know why he said that, bro, because people are questioning his credentials as they should.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have any
Yes.
experience. But that was like a pride thing. It isn't as if he was some horrible player or mid player, like he was really good offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, do you know the amount of greatness? He ain't lying about that.
That's true.
The other aspect though is, okay, well, how does that translate to being a head coach? Because there are a lot of great players, a lot of people that have seen or play with great teammates and on great teams, but they don't know how to coach. That takes a whole different mentality.
Mm-hmm.
So I see both sides in that regard, but I understand where you're coming from. Do you want a cookie?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we know that. We knew that before.
Mm-hmm.
How does it relate to you being a coach? I wish somebody had the joke that if the Raiders lost to the Colts last night, they should fire Josh McDaniels and they need to hire Charles Woodson as head coach. But that would never happen.
That would never happen. That's the thing. That would never happen, man. Like I'll say this though. Like all of you guys basically touched on all the things I'll say, so I'll keep it short. The people who I think really are probably the most agitated are any Colts assistant who thinks that they could be a head coach down the line. They got to be like, bruh, I'm right here, bro. Like I'm right here. I'm right down the hall. You know my number. You got my line. Why did you take a guy off of television to come coach?
Right.
Like I'm right here. Those dudes are probably pissed off. But let's focus on the humor of this. They dragged the guy off of somebody's couch, and the Raiders still fucking lost these dudes. Still.
You know how hard that is to do?
They let Matt Ryan run for 40 yards. That should have been an automatic. That should count for 2 losses. Actually.
You gotta end the season at that point, because I'm still not processing what I saw on those highlights. 40 yards, not 5, not 10, not 15, 40 yards, bro.
Yes.
40.
Yeah.
40 uncontested yards.
They really lost to somebody who dragged the coach off their couch last week and just came and said, "Hey man, fuck it. You could do this, right? You qualify, right? Like you play Madden, right? Like, all right, man, go coach." And then he still lost. Like,
And he did, hey, bro. He still had to choose. Like nobody on that staff had called plays. That's another thing.
Yes.
I didn't even realize.
Yeah, they were going to lowball someone to be an offensive coordinator. They were like, "Hey, why don't you take the same job with more work, but you're getting paid the same?" And he was like, "No, fuck no." Like you wouldn't do that at your regular job, right? Oh, Chris Freeze too. Oh, you wouldn't do that at your regular job. So why would you do that then? That's the crazy thing. It's like, come on,
they're cheap, bro. They got all this money, but they want to act like they're poor. Yeah, I'm glad that coach stood up for himself.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's just the other humor is like, coming up with like a whole staff of like former players who have no coaching experience who are on TV. Can you imagine Dan Orlovsky as a head coach, or Marcus Spears?
Marcus Spears would be hilarious. I could picture him just losing his mind. They're like a bad call, and he's just throwing his headset. Like you see the sweat on his face, like his face turned a different color. I could totally see Marcus Spears throwing like elite tantrums. Totally.
I just want to see Antonio Brown be a head coach. I would live just to see.
No,
I would live just to see that.
Turn on Madden. You might get to see it, bro. Turn on Madden.
That would be
like Antonio.
Oh my.
Like that would just tear the league
I will say the touchdown celebration would probably be elite. Like he gonna be hitting to put that shit on like with his headset on. That would be fire.
Yeah.
I'll say that. That would be elite. I will say that for it. But can we talk about Derek Carr crying on the fucking like? All right, I don't. Let me say this. I'm not gonna sit here and laugh at Derek Carr. I actually felt bad watching that shit because it was sad. It's like damn, you put that much into your job and your team just stinks this bad, and you don't even feel like everybody in that locker room is putting putting the same effort into the job as you. That gotta suck. And you're coaching a jackass on top of it. So all of that gotta suck. I feel bad for Derek Carr watching that shit. All right.
Mhm.
So let me get that out the way. Now, the press conference was what it was. Derek Carr was up there crying, sobbing, all that, tearfully telling us, I ain't take all this Toradol and all this other shit to just stink. Like,
right.
I ain't
That's
take
what
all
it
that for
was.
this.
That's what it
Why?
is. That's
Like,
what it
bro,
comes
I
down
could barely walk down the stairs to go answer my door, and we getting our faces kicked in every week. I didn't sign up for this. I don't blame him, even though it's kind of funny coming from the quarterback because, like, bro, you kind of control a lot of this. I'm not saying it's all his fault, but
some of
you
it-
aren't exactly going out there playing great either, to be fair.
Right.
But
Mhm.
the thing is, what I don't understand is, Josh McDaniels, I feel like Josh McDaniels got one of them faces, bro. He looks like he's into some shit. So, like, take whatever I say about Josh McDaniels with a grain of salt. But I don't understand how you could see Derek Carr stand up on that podium yesterday and say that, and then tell me today you're going to give Josh McDaniels a vote of confidence. Those two ideas don't fucking coexist, bro. The Raiders made the playoffs last year. Granted, they had like a minus 50 point difference. They weren't that good, but they made the playoffs, and they made the playoffs amidst one of the most dramatic seasons for a team you'll ever see in your life. And they stuck together.
Trash.
You never
Yes.
questioned the locker room.
Yep.
Like everybody saying the praise about Derek Carr's leadership. They made the playoffs. Say it however they made it, they made the fucking playoffs.
Early. Yeah,
They
freaking
hired
Chargers.
a new coach. They have a lot of the same characters. They added a Hall of Fame caliber receiver, and now they're 2-7.
And hold up now. And they added my boy Chandler Jones.
They did. And
shout out
has
him.
he played? Because I haven't heard
He
Chandler
has
Jones'
played.
name since July.
He has.
I didn't even
played.
know he was on the Raiders.
Legit.
Was-
He has
I
one sack,
legit didn't
believe.
even know he
That's
was on the
crazy.
Raiders.
That's
Hey,
crazy.
you shady as hell, bro. That just shows you know how maybe he's having a drop off year, but I expected a lot more
Right.
from the duo of him and Crosby.
For sure.
You know,
Like the
I'm
Raiders
thinking,
don't have a
oh,
bad
yeah.
roster.
Right.
That's the thing. They don't have a bad roster. And they made the playoffs with a lot of these same characters quite literally last year. Nobody's even asking the Raiders, they're 2-7. Nobody's asking them to be 7-2. If they were 4-5, we not have this discussion. We'd be like, all right, they're on the
Okay,
cusp
cool.
of playoffs, blah, blah, blah. They
Yeah.
got this schedule, whatever. But yo, your quarterback was crying, like telling you, like, yo, these motherfuckers don't care enough. And whether he wants to say the coach or not out loud,
It's implied. Yeah.
it's implied. And then you're like,
Yeah.
you know what? We're 2-7.
All I want
Johnny
to say is
McDaniels,
that
you're gonna
they
be
don't
here.
really care about us. All I want
Oh,
to say is that they don't
I
really
thought you
care
got that.
about us.
I was like, hey man, I might have to log off because I don't know what's about to happen.
I'm going to
What's
stay
going
with. I'm going to stay with the Raiders. What was shit? The one thing? Hold on. Case completely distracted me from like my train of thought. I
Understood.
legit- what?
Understood. You distracted me too.
I legit-
All I want to say is that they don't really care about us.
Oh, I want to
All
say
I
the
wanna
reason
say
why
is that
Josh
they don't really care about us.
Yes, they don't care about us. I get it. I will say with Josh McDaniels, the one thing is, I'm pretty sure the reason he's still employed is because Mark Davis is broke. He's already paying John Gruden to not coach. He doesn't want to pay Josh McDaniels to not coach either. Mark Davis, he's broke.
He
He's
thought
probably
Mark Davis a
broke.
broke boy.
No, he
probably
no,
is.
he's not broke, boy. No.
He doesn't want
Nah.
to pay two guys to not
Boy,
coach.
that's crazy. He said, "Get
He
your
doesn't want
money
to
up."
pay two.
Crazy.
He doesn't want to
How
pay
much
two
money
guys
does he
to
have
not
to pay him
coach.
though? I think he's
A
all
lot.
right,
I mean,
man.
Gruden had a 10-year contract. He had a 10-year contract.
That was a stupid
That
decision.
was wild, bro.
I don't know why he did that in the first place.
I don't know why they gave Gruden a 10-year deal.
10 fucking years, and he was
He's
having what,
still living off that
2018?
Super Bowl, bro. That Dungy should have won.
He's on the
Maybe
book
that's
for
why.
2028.
That-
And now he had to pay Josh McDaniels, and they have to pay a new coach? He doesn't have that
Yeah.
much money. He's not fucking Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos.
Nah,
He doesn't have that much money.
So he has what was it? In 2015, he had estimated 500 million net worth. So the team is worth 3.5 billion, but yeah, he ain't rolling in dough like.
No, he's not. That's why they gave Khalil Mack away. That's why they were part of the reason. Anyway, they gave
Right.
Khalil Mack away right before his extension kicked in. They gave away Cooper. Like it's part of the reason. They was just like, all right, hey man, we gonna get this cheap labor. That's what we're gonna do. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Go. We gonna get this cheap labor.
Right, we ain't paying you what you worth.
Right. Fuck
We can
that.
undersell you like a mug. You know what I'm saying?
You can go to Bears, bro. You want how many millions? No, sir. Not on my watch. Bye.
LA, bro.
Get out. See you later.
Oh my god.
Ah,
Nah, this has been
Yeah,
great,
this was-
y'all.
mhm.
But I gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? I've been starving.
We
However,
appreciate you for coming on, bro.
it's been a
Definitely.
pleasure to be with y'all characters. I didn't realize how funny the three of you are together because I didn't experience the moment beforehand.
We complement each other perfectly. Case is the point guard. He sets everybody up.
Oh,
Jude
yeah.
is whatever
Yeah,
you want to call Jude, and I'm just the class clown. I'm just here to dunk on
He said
everybody.
whatever you want
At
to do.
everybody's expense. So we compliment each other real good. Chris, we
Bye
appreciate
for
you,
now.
bro.
All right,
Yes,
thank you,
definitely.
bro.
Take it
I'll
easy.
see y'all later.
Take it
Be well.
easy. Stay
Yo.
inspired.
Peace.
What?
I apologize for everything not working the way it was supposed to be on my end. Shout out to Chris Williamson for being a part of the show. You follow him at C Williamson 44. That's CWILLIAMSON 44. On Twitter, follow Jude Truth at Jude Truth. Follow Kevin Lewis at KLEW24. Listen to Underdog Fantasy Sundays from 12 to 1 and All In with Kevin Lewis on Mondays. Don't forget to tune into Middle School Podcast on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. And you guys enjoy what's been pieced together. Hopefully everything went good on the opposite side, man. My apologies, but enjoy
fix
the
that
show,
dial
man. I'll see you guys next week.
Fix the dial.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
Fucking dial up.